guys, so welcome back once again on my channel. My name is Chima Olive. Okay, so today I'll be teaching you guys on how to cut a short female pants or a short, okay, a female short, how to cut or draft a female short. Okay, that's tutorial for today, guys. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch this video to the end. All right, and please subscribe if you have not subscribed. All right, you can hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. Okay, so in this tutorial I'll be covering both the cutting and the stitching. All right, so you need to really watch to the end. All right, without wasting much of our time, let's get started. Okay guys, so you're welcome back. So for us to draft or cut our shorts, so now this is the fabric I'll be working on. Okay, so you can see I've folded my fabric into two. So I use the fullest part of my measurement, okay, which is the thigh. Remember, when we are cutting pants, so we always divide the thigh measurement by two, while we divide the hip measurement by four. So I use the fullest part of the measurement, which is the thigh. So my thigh divided by two, that is what I have here, what I placed on fold. Okay, so now the next thing you're going to do is to determine the length of your short, where you want it to be. Okay, so you have to measure yourself to know exactly where you want your short to stop, the length of your short. Just like whenever we are cutting our tra or pants, trousers, so we always determine the length of the trousers. So as well, you're going to determine the length of your short. So here I'll be working with 14 inches for my short. So I'll go ahead. So here I'll be marking out this place. Okay, so let me just draw to mark out this edge. So I'll be removing this edge. I hope my chalk is visible. All right, so after marking out this place, now the next thing, now from here, now I'll go ahead and determine the length of my short, which is 14. So I'll go ahead and add extra 2 inches, all right, for my sewing allowance. So here I have, so this is my 14 inches for my short length. Okay, so here, this one is my sewing folding allowance. Okay, so from here now I'll go ahead and mark out, I'll draw a line here which will serve as my waistline. So here will serve as my waistline. Okay, so after this, now the next thing I will do right now is to go ahead and mark out my crotch length. And my crotch length, I have the hip measurement of 41 inch. So 41 divided by 4, that will give us 10.2, right? So here, from here, I'll go ahead and mark out my crotch length, which is 10.2. Your hip measurement divided by 4. So here I have my crotch measurement. So this is my crotch line. So this line is my crotch line. All right. So after that, now the next thing we are going to do here, you can decide to come up by 2 inches for your hip. Okay. So here I'll mark my hip line. So I'll go up by 2 inches for my hip line, right? So after that, now the next thing is to input their horizontal measurements. So from here, from the crotch line, I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 4. So my hip measurement divided by 4, which is 10.2 here. So I'll go ahead. You can decide to use the edge of your fabric, okay, or you can decide to mark out half inch. All right, so here I have, let me mark out this half inch here. You can decide to just use the edge of your fabric. All right, so now after that, now from here, so I'll go ahead and mark out my 10.2. So from the crotch line down or up to the waistline, from here up to the waistline. So I'm marking my hip circumference divided by 4. So I'll go ahead and connect the lines. Okay, so after that, it's just the normal way we draft our normal female pants. The only difference is the length. The only difference here is that this is a short, it's shorter. So I will leave a link on my description box on how to draft a female pint, so you can also go ahead and watch that tutorial. Okay, it's just the same thing. So after that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my waist measurement by 4. I have the waist measurement of 32 inches, so 32 divided by 4, that will give us 8. So I will add half inch for ease, then another 1 inch for my dart, because I'll be adding that to this particular pant. So here I have my measurements here. So I'll go ahead and connect it to the hip line. Okay, you can use your hip curve or you can use a straight loop and connect it to your hip curve, to your hip line. All right, so like this. Okay, so after connecting it, I hope my lines are visible enough for you guys to see. So let me sharpen it. Let me deepen my chalk, right? Okay guys, so after that, now the next thing on my crotch line here, I'll go ahead and divide my thigh measurement by 2. Remember, we already divide by 2, so I have my thigh measurement of 26 inches, so I'm going to divide it by 2, which will give me 13 inches. All right, so from this line here, I'm going to mark out my 13 inches. So I have 13 inches here. So this is for my, so this place is for my thigh. So after that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to get the midpoint of this 13 inches. So the midpoint I have the midpoint of here. So this is the midpoint, which is 6.5. All right, so I'll go ahead and measure it. From here I have 6.5. So 6.5, I will draw a straight line. 6.5, 6.5 here down to the length of my short. So I'll make a straight line. This is a margin line. Okay, the green lines. So here, this is what I have here. So after this now, the next thing I will do, from here I'll go ahead and connect with my armhole curve, or you can mark 1.5 inch. I'll go ahead and connect so that you will not have a deep, so it won't be that deep. All right, so I've connected it. So this is my crouch curve. So after that now, the next thing I'm going to do is to, you can go ahead and bring whatever you have here down. You can just bring it down here, okay, because it's still on the same page. All right, so here I have 6.5, so you just mark it. So on this page too, I have 6.5 here as well. All right, so you can just bring down whatever you have, because we are not working with the knee. We are not working with the knee measurement, or we are not working with the knee, so everything stops at this thigh. Okay, but if your pant is up to your knee, so you have to measure your knee. You get this, you use this line to mark out your knee measurement. I will leave a link on my description box how to cut a female pant. It's just the same process. Okay, so from here now, this waistline, I will come up by half an inch. So I'll just come up by half an inch. All right, so this is my half an inch. Then here I will come in, I will come down by half an inch as well. Okay, so here I will connect the lines. From this half an inch upwards, I'll connect it down to this half an inch downwards here. Okay, so you connect it like this. So this is what I have. All right, so after that now we are going to determine our dart. So from here I'm going to divide whatever I have 9.5. So I'm going to get the midpoint here for my dart. So I'm going to mark 4.5 downwards. Okay, so this is it. This is for my dart. So at this part as well, I'll be adding pocket to the side of this short. So from here I will come in by 2 inches here for my pocket. I'm going to give it a notch. So here I will come down by 7 inches. All right, so here is for my pocket. All right, so you can go ahead and connect it this way. You can connect the pocket. This is for the pocket. All right, so this is what we have. This for the for our pocket. Okay, it's like this. All right, so after that, the next thing is to cut out. All right, so but before that, if you want to have, maybe you want the flap, the zip flap, okay, you can decide to cut it straight. So let me just make a tutorial on that. Okay, I will come up by, let's say, by 1.5. You don't cut it straight. When you cut it straight, after, so you are going to have shortage. So now from here, I'll just extend this line. I have about 2.7, so I'll just extend it. I'll just extend the line. That's for my zip flap, okay. So it's going to be like this. You can decide to just cut it. Later on, you add your zipper. When you are sewing, you cut out your flap like this. You can decide to do it, or you can as well, you can cut like this, or you can cut it the same. So now we are done with this. So the next thing is to cut it out. All right, so that we'll go ahead and cut out our. Okay guys, so now we're about to cut out the back. As you can see now, I've already placed my fabric on fold. Okay, so I've placed the front pattern on the fabric for us to draft out the back. All right, so the next we are going to do right now, okay, so let me just go ahead and trim off this place so that we're able to understand. All right, so let me trim off here. Right, okay guys, so now I'm done trimming. So this is our short length, so I will not get confused. So here I will extend this line. So this is what I have to extend it. All right, our crouch line. So after that, now the next we are going to do from here. So from, okay, let's just start from here. I'm going to measure here from here now. So I'll measure what I have in between this line, this our green line. All right, so now I have about 3.7. It's not up to 4 inches. 3.7, so I'll divide to get the midpoint. So I have, this is the midpoint. All right, so from here you stand the line up, so you get the midpoint of this your margin line. All right, so I have the midpoint here. So this is the midpoint, so I'm going to extend it. So after extending it, or from here now, I'll mark out 2 inches extension. Okay, so here I have my 2 inches extension. So on this part now, this is our line, right? So from here now, I will put my tape measurement and mark out my waist. Remember, I have 32 inches for my waist measurement, so I'm going to mark it. So this is my 32 inches. So I'll go ahead and add extra 1 inch, okay, or 1.5 for my dart. Remember, I'll be adding that to this particular tutorial, so that will be 9.5 here. 9.5, okay, on this line. This is 9.5. Remember, here we'll have 9.5 as well. So here I also have my 9.5. All right, so like this. So after that, now go ahead and connect it. So I'll just go ahead and connect it with a slant. All right, so this is what I have. So after that, from here now, from this part, remember this line. So here I'm going to come down from these 2 inches. I will extend here by 2 inches as well. Right, so I use 2 inches extension here, so I'm going to use the same thing here. So this is my 2 inches. So from here now, I'll go ahead and come down by half an inch. So after which I'll go ahead and connect it. I'll be connecting the flap, so I'll just connect it like this. All right, so from here now, I'll go ahead and connect. So I'll go ahead and connect it. Right, so this is it. go ahead and connect my flap. Okay, or you can decide to come up again, you measure. So guys, so you can decide to measure 2 inches from here. So for you not to have that deep flap, if not, it's going to there will going to be bulging. So like this, so it won't bulge out. So you are going to connect it. You can decide to measure 2 inches from here. Okay. So you connect to this half inches downward. So after that, you're going to add your allowance. So here I'm going to add 1.5 inch. So I'll just measure. Here is 2 inches, all right. So here I'm going to measure 1.5. So on this part now, go ahead and add 1 inches allowance, all right. So I'm adding my 1 inch allowance from here down. So I'll go ahead and connect my 1 inches allowance. Okay, so this is what I have. So the next thing now is to cut it out, right? So here, okay, this is our dart. For me to get the back dart, I'll go ahead and measure the total. I have 9.5, so I'll go ahead and get the midpoint. The midpoint of 9.5, I'll mark it like this. So this is for my back dart. So here I'll be extending it here. Here I used the dart of 4.5, right? So 4.5, here I'll add extra 1 inch, making 5.5, right? So here my dart, I'll go ahead and add and mark out my dart. So here I have 5.5. So this is for my dart, right? So the next thing is to go ahead and cut it out. Okay guys, so now we are done with the cutting of this short. So the next thing now is for us to cut the pocket. Okay, we are going to be cutting out the pocket. All right, so let me go ahead and cut out the pocket. So to cut out our pocket, I fold my fabric into two. So I have 8 inches on fold. All right, so here the length, you can use 13 inches or 14 inches. All right, so I'll be using 14 inches for this. So you can use 13 for the length. So here 8 inches on fold. So I have 14 inches. So I'll just go ahead and curve the pocket. You can leave it straight, all right. So but I want to have a curved pocket like this. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is my pocket. I'll cut the second one now. Okay guys, so I've cut out two of my pockets. So this is my pocket. I have two pieces of them. Alright, so the next thing is to go ahead and sew our shorts.